ULTI.TV.
And welcome back for this second time slot game. We have F Troop from Canberra and Sublime from Perth. Should be a cracking game. The rain's slightly returned in the form of mist, and that wind is really starting to pick up now. This game is pretty much to get into the 4-5 playoff. If F Troop from Canberra win, there will be a three-way tie. We'll have to start looking at head-to-head. If Sublime take this game out, it will be Paradigm versus Sublime for 4-5. We see the first pull from Kyle O. Sublime streaming down the field to set up defense. And his hunter, Rainbow, as he is known, wipes the disc, dries it a little bit, dishes to the nearest sideline. Looks like a zone from Sublime. F Troop looking to move it around. The dump gets off, is on that near sideline. They're jamming it down this sideline. And move it off a little bit. This shot, that's a great grab. It's a goal. Clinical offense to start the game from Canberra. They go up 1-0. Sublime doing well to hold them to that sideline. Canberra doing equally as well, finding the gaps and with safe hands. In other news, Vanguard and Pie Wagon have finished 2 and 3. They were scheduled to play a pool match against one another. However, after discussions, decided that they would rather just play one game against one another rather than backing up and playing 2 games against one another back to back. So they have a bye at the moment, and they will be playing off for 2 and 3 later this afternoon to see who will be the other team going to Cincinnati. And the other team will have to wait to see if Australia receives a third bid for the mixed division. On the far field, field 2, we have Frisbee versus Paradigm. Frisbee still going unbeaten this weekend. Paradigm pulling out the Bollywood moves, hoping that will get them a few scores and perhaps get them over the line against Frisbee. Certainly helped in that first point. They scored. So, see what happens on that field. But our focus will be here with Perth and Canberra. Canberra should be quite used to this weather. Perth, perhaps not quite so much. A shake of the head from Kyle O. He hasn't seen rain before. The pull comes up from F Troop. It's a nice pull. A lot of hang time. Hard to catch. Sends it to Jackson. Jackson goes to throw a flick. Goes, don't really like that, but I'll throw a larger one. He sent it. It's not coming back in though. And that's ended up in the Hume United Football Club club rooms. Shout out to Hume United Football Club. Thanks again, once again, for your hospitality this weekend. F Troop to bring the disc in. It'll be on the near sideline, right in the corner. Tough spot to be in this rain and wind. They've called for the line to be cleared. It could just be jammed up the sideline. It's sent. With a huge bid. Just misses the disc. Great defensive pressure. It's jacked. It's sent. It's sent. As Fady is coming back in. That's a great grab. Good read. There was very little margin for error. Huge shot. Kanzeri running hard to try and get across to that one. Just missed it. 1-1. Paradigm take the lead on field 2, 2-1. Looks like the gender ratio is 4 women, 3 men for this point. I'm just getting a reminder that my Inside Out Ultimate article has not been submitted and that I am a slack individual. Thank you very much, Brendan Kanziri. Yes. If you haven't seen it yet, get onto the Inside Out Ultimate webpage and Facebook page. These guys are doing some great work and really promoting Ultimate in the Asia, Oceania region. It's great to see this profile of the sport lifting and good to see a bit of bant with it as well. As we return to the action, the pool lands out of bounds and I'll return to talking about Inside Out Ultimate. There is some fantastic articles on there. Watch out for the fake news. Fake news is very entertaining. Could be true, could be fake. Who's to tell? I think you could probably tell. But there's some very, very good insights into our sport, our players, and what's happening in the world of Ultimate in the Asia Pacific region. As Kylo brings it to the brick mark, it's tapped in. He looks for an early break, throw, doesn't get it, hits an open. A little bit of a bobble, but gathers. There's an open player, someone who's well peeled off defense there from Canberra, shutting down that option, seeing the poach, backing up their team. Moves the disc upfield. Tammy's got it. Hits an inside break. It floats a little bit. That was more of a D than a catch. Unfortunately, turn it over. Goes to F Troop. Canberra's got a player streaming deep. Well free. Oh, unlucky. The disc has definitely got a lot slipperier. There's been a fair bit of moisture and rain lately in the last sort of half an hour. So these catches will be a lot more difficult. Looking upfield. Hits a low back end. That's a great grab. Two hands straight out in front. Sublime looking for the goal. Trying to work free on the dump. And that's a huge D! Great dump defense there from F Troop. Sticks a hand in there. Looking for a send. The flick's been thrown. That's a good throw. It's well weighted. And a huge grab. Great read. Reaching out in front. Trailing edge grab. Hits the dump for F Troop. And the dump. F Troop knocking on the door here. There's a big lateral cut. It's been put out into space. Canberra score! F Troop go up. F Troop score. Goes to 2-1. Is it? Just doing a quick score check. All right, 3-0. 3-0. Canberra. Storming at the moment. Max Denstrom with a disc for F Troop. Shout out to Heads of State for volunteering this weekend, helping out with the running of the tournament. These tournaments can't run without volunteers, and it's great to have the likes of Katie Locke, Rainbow Apostle, Dan Cullen, Ewan Weimer, Tom Della.
And the man himself, Brendan Ashcroft.
Thank you. Out here, helping out in the rain, giving up their time this weekend. Thanks to Pete Ely as well yesterday, who from Perth, recently moved to Melbourne. He stuck around and helped pack the place up, so much appreciated. Meanwhile, Sublime. Big huck downfield, doesn't connect. So turnover there, Canberra gain possession rather, to try and work it upwind and take it to 4-0. Sublime will really want to be getting this one back. 3-1 sounds much more appealing than 4-0. There's a lovely throw upfield from Max. Hugh! There was a pick called. It was a massive layup block from Hugh Osborne. There's a little bit of a discussion. There may have been a foul call as well. Uncontested foul appears to be the resolution of that discussion. It was a great bid by Osborne. That is got up very high, full extension. By the looks of that discussion, it sounds like the Canberra player was saying he clipped his foot, which affected his play on the disc. Disc is going to be tapped in, coming in on 0, and we're underway. Canberra looking upfield. Jackson playing mark on Stenstrom. Max gets free, puts a big flick up the line. Canberra score! 4-0! Canberra really handling these conditions very well. Playing like it's completely dry and just taking their shots, not hesitating. Looks like a timeout has been called by Sublime. As the rain picks up and the wind whips it into our little booth here, we shuffle back. And take this time just to check in on the far field. Paradigm and Frisbee. It's 3-2. I think with Frisbee by the looks of that scoreboard. Frisbee have just turned it over in their end zone. Good D there by Paradigm. Apologies to some of the Paradigm players. It is Hoppy, not Hope. Andrew Moroney, take notes. So apologies to Hoppy. Apparently it is German. My German is not good enough to pronounce it 100% correctly. Bit of noise coming from Sublime. They're getting up and about. They're really going to want to go on a bit of a run here.
Focus isn't changing much. Yeah, that's Zoom. Water drops, right? But it's the same. It's also pointed at the sky, so it's just like kind of grey behind.
F-Troops coach Dan Matthews-Hunter recently off the back of the Mondays campaign in 2016 over in London. The World Ultimate and Guts Championships there. Silver medalists. Huge effort by the Mondays. Shout out to all on that team. Amazing effort by them. And certainly did the country very proud. I'm excited to see what the makeup of that team will look like in 2020.
Nice, it looks way better, Rex. Oh.
No doubt some of the people we have seen this weekend will be pushing hard to make that team. Big pull from F-Troop. Going to land and roll a little bit. Ha stops the disc, centers it. Annie Jessup with the disc now. Back to Ha. Ha wasn't really ready for that. Oh, Jackson just slips over. Stenstrom with a lovely around break. I think that was down. That's probably correct. F-Troop player down. Could be cramp. Might just have a quick check in here just to make sure he's okay.
And you've got Katie Locke here back on the bike whilst Brennan checks that the player's all right. Neck collision. Seems to be a little bit of discussion, but WO taking over position.
Good news. Looks like it was just a little bit of cramp. Gives it a little bit of a massage. Ha! There's one out. There's people running everywhere. And Max Stenstrom didn't even leave the ground and he comes down with it. F-Troop moving it upfield. Oh, and there's an unlucky turnover there. Just a bit slippery. Sublime moved the disc quickly. Trying to get it going. Running gun play. He's looking upfield. And Jessup's well free. No mark on. Looking upfield. Assessing her options. That's a great grab there. Oh, I thought she was going to send that. Sold me with that fake. Ha! With the layout. Picks it up. Looking now. Looking now. Needs to get it off that sideline. Moves it up to Shani again. Jessup going up the line. She gets hit. They're knocking on the door of the end zone here. And a timeout is called. Timeout is called right on the end zone line. If only we had Max Howden here to tell us the statistics. Actually, we've got Rob Swan. Rob Swan, what are the statistics of scoring after a timeout call right on the end zone?
4 out of 5 times it's a turnover after the timeout.
Oh, I don't know about you, but they don't sound good statistics to me. Very bad odds. If we can get a sports bet check on that. I would be putting my money on a turn. However, Sublime could prove us wrong and punch this one in for a score.
On the plus side, I can now turn the timeout thing on and off. Learning.
Checking in on field 2. Frisbee are up 5-2 against Paradigm. Paradigm. That's it. Frisbee undefeated. Looks like they're going to continue that run. Paradigm coming off a tough game against Vanguard. That was very, very intense. Hard fought. But Vanguard coming away with that win. 4-0 here with F-Troop versus Sublime. Teams have had their cheer. Defense will wait for the offensive team to set up and then decide how they want to play this. Looks like Sublime is setting up an ISO. Annie Jessup with a disc. Shani Webb in the end zone. Ha out as a dump. Everyone else clearing space. Jessup obviously looking for Webb early in the end zone. If I was F-Troop, I'd be looking at a little bit of poach D. Clear up a little bit of space. Max is having a little bit of a look into the lane here. Disc is about to be tapped in. And then we're in. Webb can't quite get free. Jessup fires a bullet back at Jackson. Just a little bit too much heat on that one to hang on to. Canberra walking to the disc now. Picking it up. There's a big undercut. Great shot from number 88 there. Up the line. And we've got a foul call right in front of the commentary booth. It's uncontested. Very grateful for it happening in front here. So I can tell you exactly what's going on. Disc will be coming in on 0. Hard to tap it in. Disc in. And the shot comes straight away. And it's just gone too far. Max couldn't reel that one in. Jackson was playing some good D. Just overshot. Everyone's looking for that end zone line. Sublime looking to get it off that sideline. Jackson again through the hands. Max picks the disc up. Tracking. Max dumps. Moves it sidewards. And Canberra score! 5-0 to Canberra. They're up and about. Shutout to Jasper Pentland. Just cause. He's a nice dude. Hope you're doing well, Jasper.
G'day, Jasper.
Katie says g'day as well. Jasper, of course, coming off a great win up in Sydney with the Victorian under-22 team. Those boys are putting in the big yards up against Queensland in the final and coming away with the goods.
Do you mind placing this one on the SK there, please? Thank you.
All right, Canberra shows the disc. They're ready. Sublime says, we're ready as well. Let's play. Disc goes up. Oh. Tracking a rolling disc. Moves it upfield. There's a bit of a poach in the lane here from Canberra. Shutting down a few options. Oh, looking upfield now. It's an under. Ryan, good grab under a high pressure from Canberra. Hits a short flick back to O. O looking, sticks it. That's going to sail out the back. Wasn't a bad look. It was just a little bit too much heat on that. Didn't really give his cutter much opportunity to run onto it. And in these conditions, it's quite difficult to accelerate quickly in a short period of time. Quite slippery. It's very difficult to get that traction. Perhaps that can be the new Inside Ultimate article, considering I'm running out of topics. A great D on the mark. Puts the hand up. Says you can try and throw it, but I'm going to stick my hand there and get the disc back. Oh, picks it up. Lots of cuts to the open side. Not much else going on. Throws a pushy. Travel called. An inside flick. This is going to sit. Who's going to read it? Sublime! That's a great grab. 3 players converging on the same spot. And the Sublime player, number 16, reins it in. Great defense there from Sublime to get that disc back. Just need to make sure on offense that they don't all cut to the same spot. If they can clean that up, I think they'll find their offensive points a lot easier, because their defensive pressure is fantastic at the moment. Canberra still up, 5-1.
You really feel like you're there. I don't know why you love that, right?
Paradigm have scored again on the other field. Looks like it is 5-3. 6-3. 6-3. Apologies. 5 looked like a 6. 6 looked like a 5. It is 6-3. Great news this weekend. There's been no lightning. We haven't had to reschedule anything. We are still tracking well. Looking at the radar at the moment, still a little bit of precipitation around, but nothing too bad. As we see that pool come up, Matthews under centre. There's a big under for a gainer. They're set up in a side stack here, Canberra. Perth have done well. Jessup couldn't quite get that D. There's some good pressure on there. It's been aired out. Kanziri, what a grab! He's not too impressed with the mud.
Do they even know what mud is in Perth?
Ha has just aired it out. Not really to anyone there. After that amazing defense from Kanziri, he's read that well. He peeled off his player. Big layout bid. And it's great to see him back out there. Pick called. It's great to see him back out there after a little bit of an injury and some surgery. He has a big world campaign coming up with under 24s. And we wish him the best of luck for the rest of this tournament and going forward, as well as all the boys and girls playing in that under 24s. A big flick huck's gone up. Ha, make sure that that's a D. Sublime get another shot. See if they can put this in upwind. Checks it in. Hits Annie. Nice and quickly. The call was no around. Ha, threw it anyway. Jessup working hard. Streaming long. Ha, sees it. Puts it. It's floating. It's going to come back in. Can Jessup get there? She can! What a run.
Great run there from Annie Jessup to get the goal for Perth.
It's an excellent shot there from Ha. Much better than the one before. He's taken note, readjusted, and honoured an amazing cut from Jessup.
I think potentially what he learnt there is put some more outside in on it, so that way it would float back into the field rather than drifting over to the far side.
Absolutely. Angle of the disc key in these conditions. Jessup, a huge cut from the handler space. Certainly impressed Rob on the camera there. Five-2. We've just had instructions for Miss Franklin to head to the shops. Make sure there is some nappy sand ready. Looks like it is much needed. Hopefully it works. Sublime's a pull. Oh, airs it out. Coming in, blading in. Canberra's let it go. It's landed inside. Oh, no, it has slid out the back. They'll get it from the front of the end zone. Sublime starting to chirp up on the sideline. Bant is flying. They're up and about. Discus checked in. An inside flick. It's caught. Canberra looking upfield. No, turns around, hits the dump. Max just pulls that one down, puts up a big flick. It's floating, it's going to the left. Osborne tracks it for Sublime and makes sure that that is a turn. Canberra clearly not concerned, well, not worried rather, about sending it deep. It's been working for them so far. That one didn't come out of the hand too well. It's checked back in. Oh, does the same. I would be surprised if that stays in. And the disc proves me right. Just fading out of bounds. A little bit too much inside out on that one. However, Canberra bringing it in on the near corner. Will be upwind, into the wind here. It's a tough spot to get the disc. And Sublime can really capitalise here if they can shut down these options. Max looking for the dump. Hits it. They've got it out of that dangerous spot. Max got it now. Sends it further upfield. There's a huge bid. Canberra does well to hold on to that one. Confident catch under high pressure. Ryan playing some good D. The around break there for Canberra. Relieves a little bit of pressure. Disc swung back across the field. An inside flick. Canberra's moving it up the field well. Getting these unders really easily. Sublime. It's gone. It's gone. Max, free. Goal. Goal to Canberra. Max finds himself out of that handler's spot. Catching goals instead. Canberra up 6-2. Really asserting some dominance in this game. Checking in on the far field, it is 8-3 to Frisbee. Half time.
Now, Brendan, can you remind us what the outcome of this game is for F Troop and Sublime in terms of who goes where from the win and the loss?
So, at the moment, Paradigm and Sublime are sitting in 4th and 5th respectively. With this game, if F Troop are to win, it creates a 3-way tie between Paradigm, Sublime and F Troop. And we then start to look at head-to-head and then head-to-head goal difference as well following that, Katie. So there's a little bit of work to be done if F Troop can close this game out. So it won't be clear-cut till the end of the game. Each point in this game counts. So each team, even if you're down, Sublime will want to be scoring as many points as they can. If it's a bit of a blowout, could mean the end for Sublime. Likewise for F Troop. If they go down in this game, if Sublime can wrangle it back, F Troop will find themselves in that 6th position. 4th and 5th spots obviously still important in case Australia does get extra bids, which we won't know for a little bit yet. If anyone from Heads of State men's teams are watching, yes, training is still on. It starts at 4 o'clock at Ron Barassi. It'll be fun. If anyone else wants to come down, feel free to. Back of the action. Sublime. Just dropped the disc there. Disc slides through Kanziri's fingers. Matthews Hunter. There's a big bid from the Sublime player who was in front. Don't know if a strip or a foul is being called here. Looks like a strip call. There's some reenactment going on. Always. I had my hands here. My other hand was here. Your hand went there. We don't really know. The sideline doesn't really know. Foul. Foul, not a strip. Foul uncontested. Aren't hand signals great? Thank you, sideline. Shout out to the Sublime and F Troop sideline. Really keeping us in the know here. Canberra, hang on to the disc. Get the dump off. There's a big fake around break. That's a goal. 7-2 to Canberra. And it looks like my job just got a little bit harder. I'll have to figure out exactly what happens, who scored what. Unless Sublime can really mount this comeback. Sublime's defensive pressure has been good. They've just got to really make sure of their throws. There's been a few unpressured drops. Disc is wet and slippery. If these throws can be out in front a little bit more and to the chest, it'll be a little bit easier to catch. Makes Sublime's life a little bit easier in this game. Canberra applying some great defensive pressure of their own, really making it quite difficult for Sublime.
Yeah, that's a little better now. It's close though.
We're working hard to get you the best picture we can. Rex and Rob doing a fantastic job on the camera. It's been a bit of rain. Bit of raindrops on the camera screen. Bit of wind blowing it around. These boys are out here doing an amazing job. Kylo for Sublime. Hand up in the air, signalling ready. F-Troop obliged by throwing them the disc. Pull goes up. Tough one to catch, but O fields it. Centers to Osborne. Waiting for a cut from the stack. Jackson goes. Gets it under. On the far sideline. Centers the disc to Webb. Webb looking upfield. Sends it. It's floated. Sublime sort of lost sight of that disc, I think. It was a great shot in the head by Shani Webb there. Floated nicely. Canberra were just able to get in the way of it and D it. Canberra looking dump. There's an around swing. Big inside flick. Jackson peels off his player. Reads it really well. Poached D. Now he's looking for someone to hit. He hits O. O with the around. Just didn't get quite enough into that. Webb having to try and bid forwards, which is always a tough ask. O playing D upfield. Matthews Hunter looking for the shot. Hits an inside flick break. They keep it on the break side. Move it around. Canberra centers the disc. Goes a little bit further. There's a tap up. And that's great D pressure from Sublime. A little bit of contact there. Both players okay. And said good work one another. That was some good ultimate. That was a crazy little Mac. It's almost, if he meant it, it was fantastic. But I think he went for the catch and it just bobbled up to him and made it life a lot easier. He didn't have to bid. Sublime bringing the disc back in. O with it right on the end zone line. Hits his dump. Hits Osborne. Continues it up the line. Dish back to Jackson. Jackson airs it out. It's going to fall short. Good read from Ryan. Babyface as they call him. He centers the disc. Moves it to the far sideline. O trying to get free. Not in a good spot. He says, don't throw it to me. I'm not in a good spot. Disc goes up and it's a goal. Great call for Sublime there. Jackson and O there were cramping a little bit in that dump space, making it quite difficult to move the disc. And Sublime just managed to find a gap and slotted it straight through for the goal. 7-3. Pull there from Ha from Sublime. Rolls a little bit, Canberra. Stop the disc. Couple of dishy passes, move it up the field. It looks like a zone from Sublime. Changing the tempo a little bit. Giving F Troop a little bit of a different look, seeing if they can manage with it. So far, so good. There's a huge layout block! Oh, he read that out of the hand. Oh, that was exciting. That's got to lift Sublime's energy levels after seeing something like that. Ha, walking to the disc. Here's Jessup. Early pick call. Looks like they're agreeing it didn't affect the dump pass there from Ha. Disc will stay with Jessup. Got some Arnott's raspberry shortcake biscuits here. Always delicious. Disc is back in. Jessup up the line to Ha. Ha looking upfield. Nothing happening, nothing happening, nothing happening. He's waiting for a cut. He's thrown a scuba. That must have been a high stall count scuba. Just into the stack. And Canberra get it back. But the pass is ankle height there. That's a grass cutter if anyone is used to four-square vernacular back from the high school days. And Sublime get the disc back. Jessup hits Ha. Cuts up the line. Ha respects that, gives it back. Jessup just puts a little bit too much fire on that pass. Just misses it. Sublime looking better. They've just got to make sure that red zone offense, make sure they hit their shots, hit their dumps. They've reset in this zone. Canberra bouncing the disc around. Confident passes. They're still back in their end zone. There's a shot through the middle. Pretty much at the brick mark now. Moving it upfield. Matthew Santa dumped into the middle. It's a bit of a loose cup. Lovely flick break there through the cup. F Troop looking upfield. There's a dish back. Matthew Santa hits the flick through the cup. They've got to close that gap if they really want to stop those shots. Canberra swinging it around the cup nicely. There's a dish. Looking through the middle. There's a dish. That hand's in a good spot there from the Sublime player. Dumps it back to Matthew Santa. Rambo looking now. And there's another block! Oh. More Sublime players hitting the deck. Ha hits Jessup. Jessup hits it around. It's a great pick up there. Lovely little backhand pass to Jessup. Jessup airs out a big hut. That's going to float. It's got to get bodies under it. Oh! He just monsters his own player. What a grab. Let's watch that one again. Just a monster grab. Says, not only am I tall, but I can jump. Wait till I put my hands above my head as well. It's a great grab by the Sublime player. Vernon, great grab. And hopefully indicative of some stuff we'll get to see when he plays for the Bottles in Perth. Hometown. January. Early January, I think around the 7th. 7th to the 13th of January in Perth. World Ultimate Under 24 Championships. If you're in Australia, certainly if you're in Perth, get down to those. But if you're in Australia and you want to see some high quality junior youth athletes playing Ultimate, you will see none better than what will be on show in that tournament in Perth. Really exciting. There'll be live streaming there. ULTI.TV. Rex Johnson, you can have a chat to him. He'll be there. Rob Swan will be there. commentating. Katie Locke and Rob Swan will both be there commentating. So that will be great to see and hear. But Ben F won't be there, unfortunately. So yes, get to Perth. If you can't make it, make sure you check out their pages on Facebook. And throw your support behind the Goannas, the Blue Bottles, and the Stingrays. Stingrays just coming off a test match against New Zealand, where they played exceptionally well. Big shout out to the New Zealand under-24 women's team.
Karere.
Sorry, my Maori accent doesn't do it any justice. So thank you, Katie Locke, for that. Big shout out to the New Zealand teams. We appreciate you guys coming out and playing over here. And we'd love to set up some more opportunities to play one another at any opportunity we can get.
Also, shout out to Karere for taking home the gold in the women's division of the under-22s as well. Awesome work for them.
Absolutely. And in a funny turn of events, Australia sent the under-24 mixed team, the Blue Bottles, over to the New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Championships, where they brought home bronze. So congratulations, Bottles. We have Representative Kate Robertson here in the box with us. Had a great tournament, and we look forward to seeing what she and the other Bottles can do in Perth. Back to the action here. We just had a little bit of a timeout, which allowed us to indulge in reminiscing about the recent weeks of Ultimates. But back to the live action here. Game 2, Day 2, WUCC Qualifying Tournament, Mixed Division. Sublime, Perth, F-Troop, Canberra. Sublime pull. Lands in the back of the end zone. Rambo to pick it up. Moves it slightly upfield. They're looking for the dump. It's a great defense there by Jackson. It's a really energetic and aggressive zone defense here. She manages to get it out. That's fantastic movement. Canberra still stuck on this side. Rambo's going to want to get it off that sideline and move it across field. He does now, but it's going to be a turn. Sublime get the disc back. Great defensive pressure. They're up and about after that timeout. Oh, looking for the quick goal. Can he hit Ryan? He does. The man known as Babyface reels it in. There's a bit of noise going on now. (7-6) to F-Troop. Sublime really mounting this comeback. We'll just confirm that score for you. It's either 7-5 or 7-6. Thinking it's 7-5. 7-5. Quick check in on the field 2. Frisbee Paradigm. Frisbee up 10-5. Bit of a chat going on field 2 between Frisbee and Paradigm. It's a long way away, but they've restarted play. And Paradigm get the disc back. Back on this field, hard to pull. Sublime. Lots of energy now from the sideline. Stenstrom gets the disc, centers it. Looks like Sublime are back out in their zone. Jessup. An aggressive mark there. Canberra trying to work through the middle. There's some big boys as well in the middle of this zone to complement the girls out on the wings and on the points. Canberra bouncing it back side to side. Haven't gained a lot of ground, but so long as they maintain possession, it's okay. Stenstrom really taking charge here. The general on this offense. It's just been aired out. Oh, Kanziri went a little bit early. He saw what was coming. And Canberra's just managed to reel that in. That is half. 8-5. 8-5 to Canberra. That would have been a big point if Sublime were able to get that one. They would have been really, really trucking along there. Instead, they'll need to have a little bit of a break, regroup, and come out with just as much intensity and energy as they did after that timeout. And we're back after half here. Shout out to Tony Castrignano. Getting some messages from him. Still trying to convince me to come out to Cincinnati or try out. Got to prove myself first.
I think Brendan should do it. if you agree that Brendan should do it, comment on the live stream. I'll check it.
Oh, well. I'll be enjoying seeing whoever wins this tournament there. And whoever comes second. And hopefully whoever comes third as well. And you never know, maybe even who comes fourth. So we're in the business end of this tournament. But there's still a lot of things that could happen. Looking forward to the 2-3 playoff. But for now, we've still got Sublime and F Troop battling it out. Trying to get into that 4-5 play out. We just see Rachel Mihash with a huge layout bid on defense on the far field. Hope she's okay from that impact. Meanwhile, Max Stenstrom with the pull for Canberra. Kylo will be tracking this one in. Disc comes to a rest. Here's his trademark little low flick. Jackson looking. He's caught a contact. Still got the disc. It's continuation. Ryan, babyface with the disc. Small dish. Great grab. Pushes it further up the line to Osborne. Osborne airs it out. Puts it into the back of the end zone and says, go chase and score. Oh, tries to toe it in. Looks like it might have been going out of the back. And he's dropped it anyway. There looks like there's a bit more cramp from this. Yeah, that's the old, let me see if I can help, but I'm really just bending your toes backwards. A lot of people know that feeling, apparently. Maybe you need some pickle juice. Sublime, big fans of the pickle juice. Pickles, get out there and help, mate. Shout out to the Melbourne Pickle Co., run by Timothy Bennett. If you want some really good quality pickles, Melbourne Pickle Co. Look them up on Facebook. It's a real company, and they're doing very well. Max walking to the disc. Be checking this in for F Troop. Looks like Sublime setting up in a little bit of a zone look. Bit of junk. Disc is checked in. He's looking for that flick break. Oh, there's nearly a big bid there from Osborne. Here's Matthews Hunter. F Troop a little bit stuck here. Move it back. Just trying to spread the field a little bit. It's a very containy zone here from Sublime. They're reacting quite well. Rambo dish Max Stenstrom. And he's just going to send that. Here we go. Here's an aerial combat. Goes up. Oh, both players had to go early. The battle was on. And number 17 from Canberra nearly got the scraps there. Osborne with a disc. Moves it up to Jackson. Jackson airs the one out himself. And that's a great bid and block from Canberra. Looks like there's some good battles going on here. He had to go for that one, and he did. Well-timed bid. And did well to avoid contact as well. Once again, International Spirit of the Game Day today. Great to see everyone playing hard and trying to avoid any serious contact or injuries. Rambo checks the disc back in. Some great defense there by Osborne. He swings it across the field. That's going to float out. Some great pressure there by Sublime. Jackson's running to check this disc back in, hoping somebody's going to be streaming deep. It's sent it to O. O swings it across the field. Looking for the open cut. Osborne goes. It's just a little wide for him. Tried to turn the corner. Slippery conditions. Very hard to be super agile on the field at the moment. – As we wait for Rambo to bring the disc back in, Sublime setting up their zone. I'm going to step out into some sunshine for the first time. Blue skies peeking through. Rambo looking for the inside flick. Hits it in the middle. Disc is moved to the sideline. Canberra close. Back to Stenstrom. Stenstrom goes for the break. Dumps to Rambo. Rambo looking onto that far sideline, trying to get it out of here. Moves it across to the upwind side. Dishes up to Stenstrom. Takes a big step and decides to just jack that. It's going to fall quite well. Has he read it? He has! That's a great shot from Canberra. Well read. Maxi just boosted that one. It's 9-5. Sublime had a couple of bites of the cherry in that point. Unfortunately, just couldn't put it in. And Canberra capitalise. We'll have a quick chat to Kate Robbo Robertson here. Robbo, how was it in New Zealand playing with the Blue Bottles in the Under-24 Championship?
It was absolutely amazing. The weather was a lot better than it is today, but we got to verse so many teams we've never seen before, which meant that we really just had to play our own game, and it was amazing to see how much the team flourished.
Wonderful, wonderful stuff. How are you feeling with the team? You guys have obviously now spent a bit of time together. When's the next training camp? Have you got one before the championships?
Yeah, so our next training camp is in 2 weeks in Melbourne. It'll be our last time together before we hit Perth. We're looking really strong already. So many connections are growing, but it'll be our last time just to finalise little bits that we need to tweak. And yeah, just really enjoy our time together.
Awesome. We're definitely looking forward to seeing you guys do your stuff, strut your stuff over in Perth. And everyone in Australia, I think, will be right behind you. So thank you very much. Enjoy the last training camp and best of luck in Perth. It's a bit of sun out now. Certainly the best conditions of the weekend. Right in time. Big pull from Canberra. It's a big outside in. That's going to hit, roll. Great stop there by Shani Webb. That could have gone easily out the sideline. Jessup to pick up the disc. Waiting for a cut to appear. Goes for it. It just probably got stuck a little bit in the hand. Ha with a huge layout to stop the roll. He really didn't want that going any further. Shani Webb on the mark here. Canberra picking up the disc. Looking for a flick. Looking dump now. There's a pick called. It looks like the disc is going back. I don't know about those sometimes. It's like, did that really affect what was going on in the dump? Not too sure, but we're back in it. Max gets it, hits a very open player. Once again, our law of if a player is exceptionally open, there's probably either a pick or a terrible defense. In that instance, once again, it was a pick. Max with the disc. Just waiting for that open cut. Great cut there from the Canberra player, number 88. Apologies again for not knowing the names. Great D there from Shani Webb. As soon as that disc gets above head height in this wind, very difficult to reel it in. Walking to the disc. Vernon jinking around under. Got to clear out of there, son. Give space for someone else to cut. Winding up. Hits an under to Webb. Webb waited for the disc. Hits an around flick. That's going to float. Oh, that's a great read by Pickles. He just saw the tip. Goes back to Webb. Unfortunately, just a little bit too much on that one for Webb. And Canberra get it back. And then it's just sent by the Canberra player. It almost looked like a high release flick. Huck. And it's hit the ground. Goes back to Sublime. Got Michael Chan at the front of the stack here. Bit of a jink. Ha. Looks off the deep cut. He's looking for something. He's looking dump. Jessup's gone up the line. He's put it out into space. That's a great throw and a great cut. These two working really well together. Jessup puts it up into the air. Vernon gets huge! And the sideline love it. Dumps to Webb. Webb looking upfield. It's not on. She's looking for a dump now. Something's got to go. She's just put it out into space and hard. Didn't quite expect it. Just goes back to Canberra. The way Vernon's playing, I probably would have just put a pie into the end zone and said, here you go, buddy. Go catch. Jump over someone. And the huck goes from Canberra. It's fading to the right-hand side. It's a huge bid from Ha. I don't think he was really ever going to get close to that, but the enthusiasm was there. And really overthrew everyone. This is a long point, a lot of hard running. Ha and Jessup are working fantastically well together. Really well in sync there. And Ha continually hitting Jessup on that up the line cut from the dump position. Ha. The front of the end zone. Hits an inside break to Webb. Webb doing a great job of getting free. Looks off Ha. Out to space. Great grab there from 59 from Sublime. Steph Ma. Great work. Chan. Oh, it's been tipped. Oh, Vernon goes for another bid. Just doesn't quite get it. Oh, put a big floaty backhand up over the top. How they got over Vernon, I don't know. Canberra working really hard. It's been put. And it's dropped. I don't know if there's a call. There was a discussion about if this was going to be down or not. It kind of looked like an edge was down, whether the guy's hand was up or not. Jackson wanting a replay on it. Discussion still going. Steph Ma saying she thinks it hit the ground first. Ha also having a chat. The opinion from the peanut gallery is that it's up. But the great part of this game is that those involved make the decision. And it looks like it's going to be a contested up call. So the disc comes back. In this instance, what will generally happen is if players can't decide, the disc goes back to where it was and we get another opportunity to play. Well-spoken discussion there, which is great to see on the International Spirit of the Game Day here in Dallas and across the world. So even in the other Dallas, it will be International Spirit of the Game Day. Canberra working it up against Sublime zone. Hits Max Stenser. Max goes for the same shot again. This time there's no denying it. That is a goal. Canberra go up 10-5. There are some dark clouds approaching. I think we might need to check in with a bomb and play Frizzer anyway. If you drive a Maserati, please do not drive it under a bridge when there's floodwaters. Apparently there are some people around who think that if you just try and drive quickly through floodwaters, nothing will happen. Floodwater can be very dangerous. Please steer clear of it. And look after yourselves in trying weather conditions. Say that as we watch some rather dark clouds rolling in. Hopefully it all just blows over. We'll go to the pub and wait for all of this to blow over. If any of you are Shaun of the Dead fans and know that reference, give us a shout out. Sean Pegg. Simon Pegg rather. What a wonderful film. Back to the action. Rambo for the pull. Sends it down to Sublime. Oh, fielding the disc. Rolls away from him. He picks it up. Puts it in the hand and says, who's going for me? Jackson's got to put the burners on. Gets in front of the Canberra player. And he's caught it in. It's a goal. That's a one-pass offense. Kylo Brucey with the shot. Wonderful play there from Sublime. Backed his receiver in and said, go get it. We have 25 minutes left in this game. It's 10-6 to F Troop. If things continue along this line, we'll be having a three-way tie as the Frisbee Paradigm game looks like it's sitting at 14-7 at the moment. Nice shot, Kylo, as he walks past me. Jackson having to reel that in. Working hard, testing out the hammies. And the pull goes up. Canberra fielded in the middle of the field. Rambo gets it. Looks upfield. It's a zone again from Sublime. Seeing if they can get another block. Canberra bouncing it around nicely. Gain a couple of grounds. It's just bobbled out of her hands. She was in a great position there. Came in with a little bit of heat. And Sublime will have a chance to break here. Upwind. Putting it to 10-7 and then a downwind point following that if they can get this in. Picking the disc up. To Jessup. Swings a little bit further onto the sideline. Moves it up the line to Ma. Ma puts it into the air. Oh, just out of the hands there. Canberra get it back. That Sublime set their zone up again. Swung to Rambo in the middle of the field. Looking over. He's gone the hammer. Jessup tips it. It's picked up by Canberra. Abby Dawson. Great pickup of scraps there. Unfortunately, just throws it away. Chan gets his body behind the disc there. He's looking for a dump. Disc is crowded. Hits Ha on the run. Perth score! Everyone was a little bit confused. Perth score! It's 10-7. What a goal!
Brendan is so excited about the score that his voice is breaking.
That's it. That's it. And it's just about turned to night here. The way it's just gotten a lot darker. We've kind of put on a black and white filter in Instagram. That's what it feels like. 10-7. 10-7 at F Troop. If Sublime can convert this next point, taking it to 10-8, we could still have a ball game on our hands. A flat ball game. Coming up to 12:30 means there's about 20 minutes left in this game. The rains are here, Marge. Rains are returning.
Let's go, Summers! Come on, Summers!
Yep, and it's just gotten a lot heavier here. The mad rush for jackets has just started. I think I jinxed it with those dark cloud talk. The conditions have just gone from really nice to horrible. Canberra are working pretty hard with the disc here. We're just needing to protect the equipment. Meanwhile, I'm just getting rained on. Canberra still working really well. Moving the disc upfield. Sublime trying to chase quite hard. There's a dish. Max Centrum with it. Send a little bit more. They've split the cup there. That's brilliant. They're working it really well. And there's a turn. Sublime get it back. Jackson has picked it up, but there's no one going. He hits O. Kanziri's still going. They hit Babyface. Kanziri's still deep. He'll have to come back under from that position. Hits O. O in the middle of the field. Swings it out to Kanziri. He's put the juke up. He's tapped it back to himself. Oh, this is hectic. He hits O with a dump. O sends a long, deep shot. Jackson just out of the hands. This rain has seriously gotten a lot heavier. There's an injury call. We are all good here.
Brendan has just passed the mic to me while he investigates the injury call. There is a lot of water. I am not surprised if somebody fell over on this. Brendan, was there a collision or a slip? I didn't see.
It's just a little bit of a slip there. All looks good. Just a precaution. Coming off the field, making sure there's nothing serious there. Play will resume. I'm getting dirty looks from the field. I think I'm not in control of the weather, Brendan. Brendan Kanziri from Sublime there. Pretty much looking daggers at me and saying, why did you just make it rain? And I did not. I am apologetic for these conditions, but still an exciting game here. Canberra moving the disc around. Sublime with their zone on again. Rambo puts a speculative outside in backhand over the top, but it worked. Hit Stenstrom. It's back into the middle of the field now. Canberra swinging it along. There's an up the field shot. It's floating, it's floating, it's floating. She's got it. Through a few hands. There's the dump back to Rambo. Rambo looking upfield. Trying to get this around. There's a bit of a slip. And he gets it out. Very low throw, but it manages to get out. Canberra swinging it across. It's a great one-handed grab in these conditions. That disc would be very slippery right now. Swinging back, looking upfield. It's a good zone look on here. Canberra still trying to move it around. Rambo a little bit further onto the sideline. That's a great break. You've got Ryan, Jackson, O, and Webb up around the disc. It's a shot out. It's a goal to F-Troop. F-Troop score. That'll take it to 11-7. 11-7. Apologies, there's a little bit of water on the camera. And everywhere else where this marquee is not doing a lot. Trying to slightly find some dry ground here. There's a big layout grab over on the Frisbee Paradigm field. It looks like Alex Gann laying out in the end zone for the score. And that could be game. If I am right, which I am. It is 15-7 to Frisbee. So we have just over 15 minutes left. Sublime, Canberra. pull coming up from Canberra. There's a bit of a touch there. Sublime have done well. Stop that roll. Oh, moves it up to Chan. Chan, back to Ha. Ha looking upfield. Oh, burns through. Travel has been called, I think. Vernon scores. Travel was called. The discussion is that he's taken a couple of retracted travel call. The goal stands.
And I guess with this wet weather, players slip around a little, making it look like potentially travel.
Yeah, absolutely. It's obviously a little bit harder to stop on a dime. We've got to give the players a little bit of leeway here. They're trying to slow down and stop without doing major damage to themselves, as the well-being of the players is paramount. So taking that extra time to make sure they don't injure themselves should be acceptable. Big shout out and thanks to Dan, Cullen, and Ben for helping out volunteer. They're just heading off now. They've been a huge help, so thank you very much. And the rains have stopped, or eased. Not stopped, no. We've found the disc, which apparently just went missing for a little while. It'll be Perth pulling to Canberra. 11-8 to Canberra, and there is 15 minutes left in this game. There's some dirty looks coming towards the commentary box, with us under the shade and the players out there in some wonderful weather. Here comes a pull from Ha. It's a big outside in. It's floating a lot. I'm going to call that in. And it is. It's in. It's in. It's right on the sideline. Rambo centers the disc. There's a good mark on there. Canberra moving it across the field. Small dish. Jackson's right in there. It looks like they've set up a zone again. Like they've set up quite an aggressive zone. Canberra's wings are quite wide. It's a D. Webb gets a great D. Oh. There's a little bit of a... Don't quite know what happened there. Jackson's gone for the quick dish to Ha. Looks like Ha is calling a strip. 2 Canberra players running through. Really difficult to see. It's retracted turnover. Good discussion. They chatted it out, and the game starts on again. Canberra dish the disc. There's a swing. Oh, he's caught it down himself. That's great spirit on International Spirit of the Game Day. Ben Matthews Hunter felt that it was down and caught it down. Jackson! That's a great grab! Ha! With the inside flick. He loves that. He's got the gunslinging Western cowboy. The guns are out. As Katie's pointed out, the sun is not out, but the guns are out. That was a great grab there by Jackson. Ha with a very tough inside flick break. Put a little bit more air into it than he really probably wanted. But Jack's getting up big. Pulling that down. Sublime take the score. 11-9. Still time for Sublime here. If they can get this block and convert this point quickly, there's still plenty of time for them to really push hard in this game. It's a very elegant grab, certainly on the highlights. He had the fingers working hard to hang onto that slippery disc, but he's done well. He's done very well, Jackson, and puts Sublime in a great position to really capitalise on that one if they can get this block. Good line out there. Have O to pull. Kyle, that is. Puts it up. It's going to end up at about the brick mark. Centre field. Canberra swing. Rambo with the disc now. Looks like a zone. Gets that break out onto the sideline. High side. Comes back to Rambo. He's looking upfield. He sent it. Brendan's in a great... Yes, Kanziri gets it. It was a well-read. He's got to hit someone. Vernon gets free. Dishes back to Kanziri. He's looking up. Osborne comes under. That's a lovely backhand break. Oh, just a little bit too hot there for Kyle. Couldn't quite get onto it. Stenstrom puts the disc up. Oh! Gets into position. There's a hat thrown there. To bring the disc in. He's just launched that. Vernon's got to get big again. He's calling a foul. He says he thinks he had it. And the contact pulled that out of his hand, or knocked it out of his hand. So they will have a quick chat and see what happens. Sublime complaining about the lack of showers in Melbourne. Kanziri going for a little bit of a swim in a puddle there. He's going to need a bit more nappy sand than what's currently on offer, I think. This discussion is still going. There's a little bit of confusion, I think, now that it's getting to the point where a contested foul sounds likely, and the disc is going to go back. Hopefully Kyle picks a better option than that huck that just went up. Yes. With the disc. End zone line. Near cone. Call for no around comes from F Troop. Disc is checked in. Hits Osborne up the line. Hugh looking upfield. That's a great cut. Airs it out. There was a tip there early. Vernon. That's a great D from Canberra. They get the disc back. Now into Max Stenstrom's hands. He swings it back to the middle of the field. Moves it across. That's floated up a bit for Rambo. Has he got it? Pulls it down. Sends it back to Max Stenstrom. He's looking around. He's trying to get it. He's trying to move it. Sublime back in that zone. There's a bullet along the sideline. And cannoned into a Paradigm player who goes, "We're not playing this game. Why are you throwing it to me?" Sublime will be bringing that in from the sideline. Right near the scoreboard. Brings it in. Vernon makes a good cut. Looks it off. Says, "I'm going to throw a big one anyway." Kanziri gets up. That's a great D from Canberra. Kanziri's having to work hard to cover the deep cut there. Canberra with the disc in the middle. Close to the brick mark. Not much going on for them. That's just going to go, isn't it? Yes, it is. Brendan needs to turn around. He gets up. He's need it! That was a no-look D. And Sublime have lost the plot.
100 puddles and everything.
Oh my word. He doesn't even need to look at the disc. I don't know if they're really happy about that or just amazed that actually worked. Either way. Oh, what is happening here in Dallas? Thanks. 7 minutes left in this game. Bringing it to the front of the end zone. Kanziri, after that big D, just slips through the hands. Perhaps if he didn't look at it, he would have caught it. Max walking towards the disc, picks it up. Stenstrom looking now. He's gone for the big flick. Well, can he bring? Oh, he can't reel that one in. It's put to the back of the end zone. And you just ran out of real estate. Cool. Kylo walking the disc back in. You might want to get a little bit of a trot on. There's not too long left in this game. Sublime would be looking to put this one in before the end of the game. Before time cap, rather. There is 6 minutes to go. Kyle hits a lovely backhand break to Vernon. Gets it back. Wound up. Airs it out again. Osborne goes very early. It's tapped. Kanziri gets it late. Oh, I thought he had that. I thought he had that. It's down. There's a player on the ground. Might have landed on the fingers. But she's good. Very good, Tam. Canberra back with the disc. The shot. This is huck from end zone to end zone. Both players put their foot down then to try and get that one, but the end of the end zone beat them both. Kyle rearranging his hair. Goodness gracious me, what a game. This is exciting stuff out here in Dallas. Shout out to the Hume United Football Club once again.
Let's count how many times Bruno shouts out to people.
Oh, bringing the disc up. Foot on the end zone line. Disc is checked in. Kanziri's got to get free. He doesn't. Oh, there's a poach. Oh, that's a great grab by Tam. Oh, just gets free. Hits a low flick to Osborne. Osborne looking upfield. Hits Vernon. That's a great position there for Sublime. The flick goes. No one's quite aware. Vernon still pulls it down. And they score. Oh my. Oh my. No one knew that disc was coming, and Vernon turned around and said, I still know where it is. May not be the prettiest game of Ultimate, but it's certainly one of the most entertaining ones I've watched in a little while. Timeout has been called. There is 4 minutes remaining until time cap, and the score is 11-9. 11-10. We're just double checking the score. $11-9 to F Troop. Oh, I need to sit down after those points. That's some good, hard, scrappy ultimate play out there. Some big grabs. Some good D. That's it. That's what we want to see. We want to see some big throws, some big plays. The ground's wet. Hit the deck and have a good time. Sublime are up and about. There's a lot of cheering going on. They've forgotten about the rain. Two minutes till time cap. Timeout has concluded. 11-9. F Troop up at the moment. Sublime applying a huge amount of pressure. They're up and about. They're feeling it. If they can convert this one. Just a quick look at the Sublime line. We've got Jessup's there, Webb's there. Hard to pull. Puts it up. It's going to land in. That's an advantageous pull. Canberra pick it up, center it. Rambo with the disc. It's Zoney from Sublime. Centered back, Canberra. Swinging the disc nicely. Jackson looking over the shoulder. That's good. Hits Rambo. Big swing. There's a lot of noise coming from the sideline from Sublime. Rambo with the disc. There goes the time cap. Siren. We will finish this point and add one to the highest and play to that. Canberra, that's a great run through D from Webb. Oh, Mike, she saw that coming a mile away. Not in my house. Ha, looking with the disc. Jessup coming around the back. He opens up some space. He puts the disc up. Babyface Ryan pulls it in. Ryan Kelly, great grab in wet conditions. Brings it to 11-10. Game 2, 12. Game 2, 12. Some great pressure there from Sublime. And that zone's really causing havoc for F Troop. Conditions have certainly calmed down. The rain's eased. The wind has eased. Rex Johnson trying to get the raindrops off the camera. Here we go. Sublime to pull. Shout out to anyone in Perth who might be watching and Canberra as well. Hope you're enjoying the game. We certainly are here in Dallas. O to pull. Puts it up. It's going to land about just past the brick mark. Pretty much center field. Canberra with the disc. Looks like it's Zoney again from Sublime. The disc is being swung across. Rambo with a big one upfield. Oh, it's just gone out of their hands. Sublime have got a chance. They've got a chance to go to 11 all here. They really want to make the most of this opportunity. They're just trying to figure out which disc is the right disc. Ash Evans being rather unhelpful on the sideline. However, O gets the disc and he's just sent it. Oh, Vernon had both hands on it, unfortunately just puts it down. Stenstrom picks the disc up and sends it long. Osborne was there. He's got a track, he's got a track. F Troop scored, that's a goal. That's the game. 12-10 to F Troop. Oh, what a way to finish. It's a great shot from Max, and what a read. That one was blading in quite hard. Three guys chasing, all with their foot pedal to the metal. And F Troop bring that final point in and take the game. Next up on this field will be the 2-3 playoff between Vanguard from Adelaide and Piewagon from Newcastle. Make sure you stick around. It's going to be a cracking game. Thank you for joining. We'll see you guys soon.
ULTI.TV.